السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulillah. I'm Abu Hafs Abdul Malik Claire in the Dawah Dynamics office. We ain't been here in a minute with my brother Abu Shahada Ibn Stanley Foster. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Walaikum salam wa
What's up, brother?
rahmatullah. How you doing, Sheikh?
Good, man. Good. Good as gravy.
Alhamdulillah.
So we've been running around and doing our thing and whatnot. But you had, glad to be with you, first of all.
Alhamdulillah.
Jazakallah khair
Allah
for the invitation to come and hang out with Dawah Dynamics.
Allah
This
yabarak.
Dawah is dynamic. But you came across some interesting hadith today.
Yeah.
And I would like it, inshallah, and bi'idhnihi ta'ala, if you would share those with the audience, if you could.
Alhamdulillah. Actually, this hadith, I've been telling you about it for a long time. First time I heard this hadith was 20 years ago by one of my teachers. And I've been looking for it everywhere. Okay. Finally, I was doing some research for the khutbah tomorrow, and I came across this hadith.
All right.
And there's been some time where we get into some dialogue, discussion, or some argumentation with some Muslim brothers in the masjid. And you pulled my coat and said, brother, don't be tough on the people. Don't be rough on the people. And I said, nah, sometimes you got to fight the people. And you said to me, no, that ain't right.
I don't like fighting the people. I'd rather just wrestle them.
Yeah.
Get a referee in a ring and just wrestle. I don't like fighting people like that, especially the Muslims.
So I based that on this hadith, which is collected in Imam Muslim.
All right.
Hadith number 50, English translation, volume 1, page 34.
Oh, wow.
Hadith number 81.
Wait a minute, you said it was 50. Is it? Oh, the English is number 81. Is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, reported by Muslim,
Okay.
number 50. That's what it says here. English translation, volume 1, page 34, number 81.
Fair enough.
Okay, so this hadith is in Imam Muslim, so the authenticity is very strong.
Oh.
And this is on the authority of Ibn Mas'ud radiallahu ta'ala anhuma.
Because his dad was
anhuma. Who said that the Messenger of Allah went on to say, ما من نبي بعثه الله في أمتي قبلي إلا كان له من أمته حواريون وأصحاب يأخذون بسنته ويقتدون بأمره ثم إنها تخلف من بعدهم خلوف يقولون ما لا يفعلون ويفعلون ما لا يؤمرون فمن جهدهم بيده فهو مؤمن ومن جهدهم بلسانه فهو مؤمن ومن جهدهم بقلبه فهو المؤمن ليس وراء ذلك من الإيمان حبة الخردل كما قال صلى الله عليه وسلم. So there was not a prophet sent to a people before me except that he had helpers and companions who took hold of his rightly guided sunnah and followed his orders. Then after them came those who said that which they did not do and did what they were not ordered. So whoever strives against them with his hand, he is a believer. And whoever strives against them with his tongue, he is a believer. And whoever strives against them with his heart is a believer. And there is not beyond that a mustard seed of faith in Iman. So the Shaykh who brought this hadith, his commentary goes on to say, the essence of dawah, its main pillar and its core, and the marrow in ordering good and forbidding evil. So this is the science, the dawabit of al-amr bil ma'ruf and nahy al-munkar, promoting the good and forbidding the evil. So if it does not take place, then Allah's wrath descends and punishment comes upon everyone, as the Prophet ﷺ said, there are no people amongst whom sins are committed and they are stronger than those who commit them, yet they do not prevent that, except that Allah sends his punishment upon them all. Ordering good and forbidding evil has different levels, as occurs in the hadith of this chapter. So the caller should not proceed to one level at the expense of another. Rather, he should proceed according to his capacity and his capability.
So,
hold on, one more line. When the Muslim, when ordering good and forbidding evil, should not, in doing so, abandon the manners of a good caller.
Hey, so you're not supposed to be harsh on them. That's manners, dog.
Well, no, you don't come and slap someone in the head.
Well, yeah, but this is the thing. Like, we have to, because you don't want like just random. Because what ends up happening too is that younger brothers who don't have a lot of tact or who are just new to the deen, they see things that they don't know. Like, for example, I was in Scotland few years back. I think I told you a story. And there was a sister who helped organize the event, and she was there, and I was there, and there was a few more brothers with us. I think she was the president of the MSA or the ISOC, as they have it over there. And we went to a restaurant, and I wanted fish and chips because I was in Scotland, and that's, you know what I mean? I wanted to have the best. She ordered chicken. So this white boy, Revert, he flips, dog. He's like, "You can't eat that. It's haram." And he's like railing up at the sister. And he's getting hot. Like he's legitimately getting hot. So he obviously doesn't know that there's a difference of opinion. And I'm trying to tell him, because of course they brought me into the middle of it because I'm a revert, so he thought I would take his side. I'm the speaker, and of course she also wanted me to calm him because he's like getting mad. He's visibly, audibly getting mad with the sister in public, which is obnoxious, by the way. So I had to kind of like tell him that what you're saying is an opinion, but it's not the only one.
That's right.
And she's not wrong to eat that chicken. She says Bismillah and she eats it, and that's a valid opinion. And he still didn't like it. So before you take things into your own hands like the way he did, it's important to know that you're right before you start shooting off your mouth about being right. Now, I know you to be very proof-based, and Jazakallah khair. So I don't know you to be a person who does that. I'm not saying it in regards to you. I'm just saying it in general because there's a lot of young brothers who watched our videos. I don't want them going off, the rails in the masjid, railing up on the people like that.
Well, the point that is made in this hadith and the other hadith are basically showing that iman is qawlun bil lisan wa tasdiqun bil qalb wa amal bil jawari, because it says whoever strives against them with his hand is a believer, whoever strives against them with his tongue is a believer, and whoever strives against them with his heart, whoever strives with his heart is a believer. So that's three levels. That's three levels of iman, and they're all acceptable to Allah Azza wa Jal. I don't have power over another man in his house, so I can't put my hands on anybody, but I may be able to say, "Hey, akhi, don't do this." Or if I see something that I have no power, for instance, in another country, I hate it in my heart.
But isn't the prerequisite to that knowledge first?
Yes, you have to have
that was my point, is that you have to know, like, for example, you see the sister, you see her eating chicken from the non-Muslims. You can't rail up at her like that. No. Because she has a valid fiqh opinion. Yeah. You may not agree with it, you may not accept it as yours, but you have to leave it alone. Now, if she's eating a rack of baby back ribs, we know pork is haram. You could say something about it then. Yeah. But her chicken wasn't haram and she ate that. But we had to really, the whole night became awkward because this, homeboy railed up and started flipping out. Right?
Well, that's making the tarjih with this other hadith where the Prophet went on to say, and this is an authority of Abu Musa al-Ash'ari, كان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إذا بعث أحدا من أصحابي في بعد أمره بشروا ولا تنفروا ويسروا ولا تؤسروا. So this hadith is one.
Give glad tidings and don't be harsh. Not ولا تنفروا. Nafir was like don't
make the people flee and make things easy. Do not make things difficult. So it's swimming in between the two, and you have to have knowledge of what is halal and actually what is haram. Knowledge of who you're talking to, and part of this thing is actually the discussion of hikmah. And hikmah is, my brother, al-hikmah wad'u kullu shay fi makanihi wa waqtihi wa manasibatihi. Putting everything in its proper place, in its proper time, in its most suitable of means and suitable positions. And this takes knowledge.
That's knowledge, but hikmah is something that isn't taught in books, really. No. It's hikmah is the science that starts where books end. And that comes with experience and whatnot, and being a little older. Our brother was a little young. He was new. He may not have been young, but he was new in Islam, which makes him young. He was an infant. I think he was Muslim for 2 years or something. And he railed up at her, dog. Wow. I was like, wow, okay.
And this comes down to the favorite hadith, Sheikh, our favorite hadith. Ya Aisha too. إن الله رفيق يحب الرفق يؤتي على رفق ما لا يؤتي على أنف وما لا يؤتي على ما سواه.
And we all do it. I do it. I rail up too, and it's not a knock on the brother. We all have our hot times, and may Allah help us with that. Qalimin al-ghayth is one of the descriptions of the muttaqun in Surah Al Imran. الذين ينفقون في السراء والضراء وكاظمين الغيظ وعافين عن الناس. So it's like we need to be a bit more easy with the people to make sure that what we're saying is right. Because some things are clear and some things are not clear. Some things are not as clear as other things, I should say. They're clear, but they're not as clear as other things are.
There's a hadith in Sahih Muslim, O Aisha, indeed Allah is gentle and He loves gentleness. And He gives due to gentleness. And whatever He does not give due to harshness, and what He does not give due to other than that.
Yep.
Sahih Muslim.
So this is the whole thing. And you'll get more, and the old saying is you get more with honey than you will with vinegar.
That's right.
But sometimes when our brothers come into Islam, and there was one older Syrian brother who was there, and may Allah bless him. He explained it to me, and it's a side thing. He said and I thought it was very, very eloquent when he said to me, and he's not a revert, but he explained our situation very, very well. And he said, this is completely off the topic, but it's very interesting. He said, when brothers and sisters enter into Islam, it's like they found a new love. And anyone who appears like they are going against that love, they will vehemently fight with them because of their new love. It's like they're in Islam and it's a honeymoon phase for them.
Yeah.
Islam is new. They're learning about Allah and they're falling in love with the deen. And then eventually it tempers. And it balances out to where it's still a love, but they get wisdom and they understand things a bit more. So now they're a bit more tempered. And they realize that their love is narrow, but the one they love is broad. And I thought that was very, very beautiful when he said that to me.
Yep.
Wow, that's very, very, it's very clear. So sometimes we need to understand that we don't know everything. And Islam is not this little ribbon path. It's broad. It's the path straight, yes, but it's not narrow, as the people say. It's straight, but it's broad. And there's room for interpretations of certain things. And then there's room for aqeedah, which is not interpreted like that. It's a bit more strict and a bit more hard. But fiqh is broad. So sometimes we need to, when we apply hadith like that, we need to be aware that we need to know what we're talking about before we start shooting it off. You know what I mean? And that was the whole point of that.
That's where it comes to my favorite hadith, or one of my favorites, the hadith of Ibn Umar, when he went on to say that the Prophet went on to say, لكل عمل شرة ولكل شرة فترة فمن كانت فترته إلى سنتي فقد اهتدى ومن كانت فترته إلى غير ذلك فقد هلك. For every action there is a period of enthusiasm and activity.
Yeah.
And for every period of enthusiasm and activity there is a period of rest and inactivity. So he in whose period of rest, inactivity is accordance to my sunnah, then he is rightly guided. But he whose period of rest accords with other than this, then he is destroyed. So it shows you, like you were just saying, the people, they start off very strong in the deen, and then later they become seasoned.
I did too.
And
I started off like that. My new love. And it's like being, he compared it to being with a woman, with your new wife. You know what I mean? Now, we're not saying Islam is a woman, for those who are going to be literal and get upset with us. We're not saying that. But the love is new. It's fresh. You just discovered La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. So you're anyone who comes against that, even if they're not against it really, even if someone just appears to come against it, you're ready to rumble. You know what I mean? And this is the thing. So,
well, this is why there's some aqwal here. Imam Ayub As-Sakhtiyani rahimahullah, he said, from the success of a youth or a non-Arab is that Allah guides him to a scholar of the Sunnah. This is
that's important.
This is in Imam Al-Lalaka'i in his Sharh Usul al-I'tiqad, which I have at home, and Ibn Shawdhab. He has some great statements, Sheikh Ibn Shawdhab. That's one of my new guys.
Right.
I have to find this. There's one powerful statement, inshallah. When I find it, I'll show you. But Ibn Shawdhab, he said this other statement. He said, from Allah's blessing upon a youth, when he turns to worship, is that he is given a brother who is a follower of the Sunnah, encouraging him upon it. And this is,
I can say that I had that.
And this is
in my life.
and
You're
this,
one of those, brother.
May Allah make me better. Allah make me better than the people think and hide my sins from you.
I had another one before you who would encourage me like that, and then I came up here, and Allah, made us meet up. So, Jazakallah khair.
So this is a course that actually was taught from my sheikh, and another sheikh taught me this course. And alhamdulillah, this is my second copy. Actually, the first copy that I have is all falling apart. I still have it. It's all highlighted. I've used it for many khutbahs. It's called The Call to Islam and the Caller by our Sheikh Ali Hassan. So it's a very beneficial book, alhamdulillah. We use that for dawah. Right. And it's something extremely important in these times, Sheikh, is just how we're approaching the people, our usloob, our style, our methodology, our behavior aspects. How we approach the people is very, very important. Yep. I happened to pass by a place the other day, and I happened to see a Muslim that I know, and I seen them as soon as I came in, but they were doing something they shouldn't have been doing. But I pretended like I didn't see them. But as I walked away and someone got in between us, I seen them looking at me. So I didn't go up to them and say, Astaghfirullah, I see you doing the haram, brother. I didn't say that. I just kind of went about my business. And this is from the opportunity that I'm going to try to reach them at another time when their guard is down in a nice way. Mm-hmm. Instead of coming to, hey, I see you doing the haram. What are you doing out here in the streets? Which would cause a big havoc. It's not the time or the place. Yeah. Plus, the place was a place where there's a lot of non-Muslims there. So, I'll reach that brother at a time, inshallah ta'ala, where I can win his heart, inshallah ta'ala. Sure, inshallah. This is what we want to try to do. We want to win hearts. And after that, then inshallah ta'ala, hopefully we can do it for the sake of Allah, and Allah will be pleased with our actions.
That's it. No, but this is important when it comes to dealing with it, because you never know like what's gonna happen to them. He might listen to you, and he might, it might soften his heart a little bit. He might realize what's going on, or if you're harsh, he might listen to you and say, "Well, I don't care," and just do more. You know? Yeah. It's like the story that I read on Twitter, and I forget who said it, and you heard it before, I believe. Yeah. About the brother whose cell phone went off in the masjid.
Great story.
So his cell phone goes off in the masjid, and I hate that, by the way. Yep. So I need to slow my roll when people do that. I hate that. When I'm giving the khutbah, and I'm hearing the cell phone ring, it drives me crazy. I don't like it at all, and I hate it. So anyway, so this brother's cell phone goes off in the masjid, and everyone's flipping out at him. The imam gives a speech on him, calling him out, basically. Yeah. The other brothers know who it is because, of course, they pray with him, so they're looking at him and giving him side eyes and whatnot. Yeah. His wife was in the masjid with him, so she's giving him hell too. And he gets so stressed out behind all of this rebuke over a simple mistake. Yeah. You just forgot to hit the mute switch. Yeah. He ends up going into a bar. Yeah. So he sits down at the bar and he orders a drink. And I really forget who said this. I'd name him if I knew, but I don't know who said it. But anyways, so he sits down at the bar and he orders himself a drink, bottle. And he brings the bottle and he's so upset that his hand's shaking like this here. His hand's shaking and the bottle falls out of his hands and smashes. Boom. The alcohol sprays on him, sprays on the people beside him, and the glass breaks. So everybody comes and runs to him, asking him if he needs any help. Bro, you need any help? You all right? Because they saw him shaking. They think he's sick, or they think something's going on with him, or he's in shock. So they all come and they start to clean him up, and they give him napkins to clean himself up.
So-called good treatment.
Yeah, good treatment in that way. And then even the bartender, she comes. She's a girl apparently. Concerned in the story, and she comes and she gives him a hug, and she says, "Don't worry, everybody makes mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes." Like that, and she's consoling him, and she brings him another bottle. Free. Yeah. Apparently, he never went into the masjid again, and he went to that bar over and over and over again. Wow. He stopped going to the masjid, but he never stopped going to the bar.
No rifq.
No rifq. It's a simple mistake too. Like it happens. Your cell phone goes off in the masjid. So that really caught me because I've been calling people out. Not in general. I don't call them out. I just one time I remember in the khutbah, before the khutbah started, I took my cell phone out and I went, "Okay, boys and girls." Which is obnoxious because most of the people are older than me. Okay, boys and girls, this is a cell phone. You see this? There's a cell phone. There's on the side of the cell phone, there's a mute switch. Please, if you have one of these cell phones, take it out and push the mute switch. So, it made me kind of feel away because I'm really harsh. Because as a speaker, I'm on the minbar and I'm trying to deliver a khutbah. And all of a sudden I hear, whatever ringtone, whatever could be Bollywood, Shollywood, Somalywood, Nollywood, whatever crap, Kanye or whoever else, and it really makes me mad. It really irritates me that this happens, and it happens a lot. It'll probably happen next khutbah tomorrow, which I'll be giving out there. So, Inna Allah yuhibbul rifq. What is it? Inna Allah rafiq yuhibbul rifq.
That's right.
So we need to be a bit more gentle with the people. And still remind them, but gently. Gently. Because you never know, man. Someone could stop going to the masjid and start going to the bar. Ultimately, your decision is yours. but our harshness shouldn't influence that.
Yeah.
That's my point.
Actually, one of my teachers, one of my sheikhs here, some years ago, I did something. It wasn't a bad sin or a bad something, but it was wrong. And this is how my sheikh approached me. He said, Assalamu alaikum. Put your hand out, Sheikh.
So you be hanging, dog. I'm sorry.
Assalamu
I didn't see
alaikum.
it.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum
He
salam.
goes, how you doing, my brother? Is everything okay? How you doing? How's your family? How's everything? Are you working? How's your mom? How's your dad? How's your kids? Is everything okay, brother? MashaAllah, it's good to see you, brother. I'm very happy to see you. Everything is okay. MashaAllah, this, that, the other. Have you eaten? Are you working? Everything is good, brother. MashaAllah, MashaAllah, MashaAllah. He said, well, brother, and he shook me.
He's squeezing, dog.
He squeezed my hand a little bit.
All right.
He squeezed my hand a little bit. And he said, Kether wa kether. Brother, don't do this, don't do that. Right? Now, that's how the brother approached me. He won my heart first. Then he scolded me. Then he gave me a little shot. Then he gave me a little bit of attention here by squeezing his hand.
Okay.
And then I got the point. He didn't come up and say, Astaghfirullah, okay, what are you doing? He didn't do that, right? And I'm sure that shrill hurt your ears a little bit.
I thought it was that's Chalet.
Yeah.
Waitress. She's just like that in the restaurant we go to.
So, he approached me in a nice, most loving way, and I got the point. And since then, I have nothing but love and admiration because he approached me in a way. And I think he knew, like, I'm a tough guy kind of thing, like a rough guy. So he figured, if he comes to me hard, I'm going to come back hard. But if he came soft, and my heart was really soft for him, mashallah.
See, that's one of the things that Siraj al-Hajj used to say. I believe it was him. He said, if they can't treat you right, then they can't teach you right.
Mm-hmm.
So, we encourage the people to
good manners,
to have good manners when they're correcting the people.
إنما بعثت لأتمم مكارم الأخلاق.
MashaAllah.
So the Prophet said, I have not been sent except for to bring the good manners, or to establish the good manners, or to perfect the good manners.
Especially if we say we're brothers. Like, if we're brothers and we're sisters, then it should be automatic. But it's not. Like, if you love someone for the sake of Allah, and you should be loving your brother and your sister for the sake of Allah. If they're wrong, okay, everybody's wrong at something. There ain't nobody right about everything except the one who created everything.
That's right.
So even Muhammad ﷺ was rebuked by Allah.
Yeah.
He was rebuked by Allah. Abasa wa tawalla is him being rebuked by Allah.
That's it.
Corrected, if you will.
Yeah.
So Allah corrected His messenger.
Yeah.
He didn't condemn him. He corrected him.
Yeah. He told him to do better when he was doing good.
Yeah, he told him to do better when he's doing good. Exactly.
Yeah.
So we should be doing that to each other. Telling each other to do better when we're already doing good, inshallah. And if you love your brother and your sister, then you should do that in the best way. So first, you know what you're saying is right. Secondly, you know how to say what you're saying. And if you don't, then you should go to someone else who does, inshallah.
That's right.
And correct them that way.
That's right.
Right?
إنما المؤمنون إخوة فأصلحوا بين أخويكم. Explain that, Sheikh, a little bit.
The believers are brethren or brothers of each other. So make peace between akhawaykum, your brothers.
That's right.
Make islah, peace. What's another word for that? It's reconciliation. Yeah, reconciliation. It's not
which is a forgotten sunnah, actually.
Yeah, to make islah.
Yeah.
It's not peace exactly, although it can lead to that. Islah will lead to salam.
Yeah.
Inshallah.
Yeah. Allah Ta'ala says, إنما المؤمنون إخوة. Also, Prophet said, Al-Muslim Akhul Muslim. Al-Muslim Akhul Muslim. The Muslim is the brother of another Muslim.
So if someone is wrong, then be kind to them. Because you don't know whose iman is what. Like, you don't. Someone could come in the masjid that day and have tattoos all over his face.
Yep.
But and we've seen this. Your brother come in, he's tattoos all over his face and neck.
Yep.
And you get at him like he's the biggest dajjal that ever lived.
Yep.
Meanwhile, he just got out of jail and it's his first day in the masjid.
Yeah.
So at least ask someone, okay, like, what's going on here? Yeah. You don't know who's who when they walk through the door.
Or they have rasta braids. Which I've seen myself.
Yeah, you have rasta braids.
Al-Islam yujib bin kana qablakum. Islam erases everything that came before it.
Or he could be a skinhead. Remember, our brother told me that there was a white skinhead that came into the Jummah in the jail.
Yep.
And he had short sleeves on. So he had tattoos from here all the way up here. Yep. Sleeves. You know, these brothers do sleeves now. Wow. Yep. And he had two of them, and his arms were covered, his neck was covered, and didn't nobody know why he was there. They thought he's there to start trouble, because, big guy, jacked up, in jail, prison, The brothers lined up, and he lined up with them.
Win the hearts, win the minds, and you'll win the people's actions.
You don't know who's who, and this is what I need, especially to the younger brothers, and the brothers who may not be familiar with this kind of stuff. You don't know who's who, akhi.
Yep.
A sister walks in the masjid with a miniskirt on.
Yep.
You don't know that she could have been anything. Yep. But that day, she took Shahada, or that week, or that month.
That's it.
And she's in the masjid for the first time.
That's it.
So you call her all these horrible names because she ain't dressed a certain way. But you don't know. And then she says, you know what? I'll come back here again. And she leaves and she goes out and she doesn't come back no more.
Yep.
You just chased somebody out of Islam.
Which many of the born Muslims have pushed a lot of the new Muslims outside of the religion.
Yep.
I get calls. The brother gets calls all the time.
Oh, Lord.
Sheikh, I only have 2 minutes left on my phone here.
All right, we're going to close it. But yeah, Jazakumullah khair, bro, for the talk. We need to do this again. This needs to be done again.
Inshallah.
Shout out Dawah Dynamics. Islam by Touch. Islam by Touch.
Strictly
in the
Sunnah.
building, strictly Sunnah. I'm Abu Hafs Abdul Malik Claire. This is my brother Abu Shahada Foster. Jazakallah khair, bro. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Holla at your boy. Assalamu alaikum.
Excellent.